No, but I'm better. Ashley's still actually still a little messed up. So if you know her, send her a message. She'll appreciate it. But it's good to be back, and where it's been a couple weeks, we do have a little bit to talk about.
Yes, we do.
So we'll jump into a few things, but first and foremost, we always want to talk about our charities that we do every month, and we haven't been able to pump it this month like we always want to, just because we've been away. So I think in order to do the charity a little justice, we might run it for next month as well.
Yeah, I think we ought to roll it through August.
Yeah, we'll roll through August. It's the Hayden Hurst Foundation. It helps with the. I think the tagline on the site is something along the lines of it helps defeat the stigma for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a great cause.
It's a great cause, and anybody that's ever been through mental health issues or knows people that's going through it, nothing more important in this world than keeping your brain together. Trust me on that. I've been through it, been in those dark places. Feels great once you get it all together. So, near and dear to my heart. I hope we can pump this one. We're going to roll it for the next month. And, as always, $10 donation gets you in the running for a jersey. $1 donation gets you in the running for the hoodie and the cup. And we have started our production back up on all those. We're probably about 2 months behind on getting them out, but we do have them. We are getting ready to be locked and loaded here. So we're excited to finally get back in the swing of things.
Absolutely. I'm excited.
I'm excited. And, part of it is, life changes. I started a new job, had to kind of get my feet wet there, foundation going, a lot of training videos that took up my time, but we're glad to be back. And we want to get into some brimming horn Bengals talk. There's our brimming horn, metery horn that we like to put on.
It's our metery horn.
I still like when we went.
You can do that too.
I'll take the sound effect. First things first. I think Twitter lost its mind for about 20 minutes today.
Yes, they did.
With some Joe Burrow news. You can get some executive producer money.
That was pretty awesome.
But ladies and gentlemen, Joe Burrow did nothing but need his appendix removed, which is kind of like getting a tooth pulled. He's going to be out of commission for a couple days. He'll be back.
I can see him sitting in a little hospital bed with a little vanilla ice cream cone.
Oh, yeah.
Soothing his throat.
Just sitting there like Lieutenant Dan, just got my ice cream.
So this is going to be blasphemous.
Okay.
Does Joe Burrow have a little Roethlisberger in him? He gets hurt a lot.
He gets a lot of those injuries that everybody I mean, obviously he had the ACL, which was the big one. He had the pinky that everybody was talking about. He had the throat contusion that everybody went on about.
Can't you already see the picture of the football player with the helmet on and all the arrows pointing to everything that's wrong with him?
The silhouette on Monday Night Football, the arrow pointing here like operation with the date.
Yeah.
I mean, he's had the pinky. He hurt his knee in the Super Bowl. He hurt his knee against Washington. He hurt his throat against, I think, the Chargers. He hurt his pinky against the Chargers. I mean, he's already got like 5 or 6.
So much for everybody saying Joe Burrow finally has a training camp that's normal. No, that's gone.
Well, we just got to start ripping out his internal organs now.
That only took a day. See you in 3 weeks, Joe.
Day 1. No, but it's not serious. I'm not worried about it. There are guys that have had this procedure done and come back and played the same week.
One thing that's good about surgery, it keeps you out of harm's way.
Yeah, I think Mo Egger tweeted something like that.
Did he?
He said something along the lines of, you know what, if this keeps him out of those meaningless games in August, then so be it.
Right.
So, I mean, yeah. I know for sure for about the next 7 to 10 days that no one is going to be around him, it's kind of a plus this time of year.
No, he won't get COVID either.
Well, I mean, if he's in a hospital, he might, but he's
going to be in hospital for 1 day.
Right. So, I mean, he'll probably be okay.
Yeah.
Other guys that are kind of in the injury news.
It's just everybody important that we picked up. That's all.
Yeah. So Alex Kappa still has that core muscle thing going on, and they said that was going to take like 6 weeks or 2 months or whatever when he did it, and they said they expect him to be back before La'el Collins gets back, and La'el Collins is, like, from what I understand, more or less precautionary.
The thing I like to hear, what always puts me at ease, is when they say, well, if there was a game this week, he'd be playing.
And
That's what I like to hear about when they're talking about injuries.
Well, keep in mind, Kappa's the same guy that tried to play on a broken leg last year or 2 years ago. Or what? Did you ever hear that story?
I didn't hear that story, no.
He had snapped his, like, fibula, and he kept trying to go out and play. And they were, like, noticing that he had a limp, and they went and did x-rays. He had snapped his leg in half. And he was like, I just kept trying to tough it out. He'll play. I'm not worried about him. He'll play. Zim put this out on Spaces today, so if Zim is comfortable putting this on Spaces and Instagram, then I'll relay it out there. Zim was at the Joe Mixon birthday party, which, as Zim said, had quite the good female to male ratio. He was very happy about that. But he said Collins was out there dancing and looked pretty flexible for, a back designation. So
Good.
I'm not worried about any of those three guys whatsoever. The one people are kind of worried about is Pirine, who, it sucks. You never want to see somebody get hurt, but if it opens up the door for Chris Evans, then so be it. I'd love to see him get some more touches.
I don't think it should take an injury at this point.
No,
I think Evans should just move ahead.
He should at least still be the kick returner and get a few more touches a game. And if he ends up being the kick returner, Brandon Wilson might be out of a job because Wilson doesn't do a whole lot on defense.
No, he doesn't. He's a one-trick pony, and quite honestly, he wasn't very good last year.
No, well, he was hurt.
2 years ago he was outstanding. Last year, not so much.
Right, and Darren Simmons does a decent job in kick returner. Is something that the Bengals have kind of always had a decent one. Revolving door, but still somewhat decent ones, regardless of who they've put back there.
Yeah, it's less and less important nowadays, though.
Well, especially when like 65 to 70% of them go through the back of the end zone.
Right.
Give me someone that doesn't fumble, and if he brings it out, gets it to the 25. I'm not really, if they've got that ability to take it the whole way, great. But for the 2 times it happens a year, is it worth really wasting a roster spot?
There should be a saber metric on this. Is it worth it? Because how many holding penalties happen on a kickoff versus a long kickoff return?
Oh my God.
I bet you have more holding calls than you do long kickoff returns. That means you should always just down in the end zone.
Right, because I think most kickoffs land about 2 yards deep. So in order to get it past, you need a 27-yard return.
Yeah.
So how many – if we want to designate a long kickoff return as 30 yards, just to be safe, how many holding penalties are there per 30-yard kick returns? It's probably double.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think the laws of averages are in your favor to return kicks.
Probably not.
We get all season to talk about stuff like that, though.
Yeah. Well, I'll do some digging. I might be able to find out some stuff. I've got some.
You know what I can't wait for?
What can't you wait?
I can't wait for you to go off because it's going to happen in the first week of these numbskull. You will call them numbskull head coaches that are still kicking field goals. I think you think they should go for it on 4th down in their own 15-yard line.
If it's a yard, maybe
No.
I think about it. The math says you should rarely kick a field goal.
You know what you don't do anymore if you need a yard?
You don't get a Pirine.
You exactly do not give it to Pirine.
And I'm not trying to be a jerk to Samaje because I loved Pirine. But, man, those 2 runs in the Super Bowl, and I know you're going up against Aaron Donald with the line that we had, but, man, that's a little rough. We'll change gears, though.
Yeah, we'll move on.
Yeah, I don't want to keep rehashing that game, even though it's the last thing I've seen, and I have to for, the foreseeable future. But training camp started. We're here. We made it. Now,
I don't sound effect for that.
Yeah, now we have the I think as Paul Denner Jr. put it, the month of hoping nobody gets hurt.
There you go. Well, so much for that hope.
Well, that doesn't count. It's like getting a tooth pulled. Like, it's just, I'm not worried about that. But
you know what really sucks is I was going to go down to training camp Friday and try to get his autograph. Now I got to go knock on his door. I'm going to his house.
You go to the hospital. Just show up at what hospital do the Bengals get surgeries at? Like,
I don't know. Kim was asking me that today, and I said, "Well, the Reds used to do Christ. I have no idea. Maybe they go to university."
I mean, with the ACL, it's always that one doctor out in L.A. I can't ever pronounce his name, but it looks like L attach or whatever. It always makes me laugh because that sounds like a great name for ligament surgery.
Yeah.
But no, I'm happy training camp's here. I think the Hall of Fame game's in 9 days.
Yeah, things are going to start clicking along now.
We're
finally 47 days to go. I've been counting since like 110.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
I can't help myself. I'm an old guy. I have nothing really to look forward to on a daily basis, sports-wise. I can't look forward to our baseball team. But
when the time comes that you finally retire, whenever that is, you're going to lose your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be calling me on like March 1st. 182 days. Jesus, here we go. For those of you out there who don't know, we talk on the phone probably 4 or 5 times a day. At least. I mean, we called each other like 4 times this morning because we kept getting interrupted by other people. But, but every single time you answer the phone, it's Cincinnati Bengals, 21 days to go. It's just like, oh my God, you've said it 3 times today. I know, or whatever. But we're 9 days from the Hall of Fame game, which I get super, super excited for. I watch about an hour and a half of pregame and then like 3 snaps, and I go, oh.
Hey, you know what the magic 3-tier number is right now?
Magic 3-tier number?
117.47.
The hell? 117.40.
As of this morning, because it was 1 day to training camp. So maybe that was yesterday, but 1 day to training camp, 17 to the first preseason game, 47 to the start to the opener.
Okay, so it's like
117.47.
It's like a triple slash line.
So the first number drops off officially today.
We got a goose egg.
We're down to a double number now.
It was 1640.
It'll be 1646 tomorrow.
1646.
That may have been a good year. I don't remember it.
I think that's what the Spanish flu was. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, Spanish flu, COVID, same thing.
Yeah, right. No, but Jesse Bates. It was posed the question today: should the Bengals trade him? And I know you are on the fence of yes.
I'm on the sign him, trade him, get what you can get for him. Now, I know you said that you can get a 3rd round and still play him all year. I wasn't aware of that because I'm an old guy and I'm stupid when it comes to this kind of Houday Haas. There's the man.
You got a comment? I saw it blink up.
I saw Houday.
Hell yeah.
That's our first training camp Houday. It belongs to the Haas man.
With Bates, it's most likely a 3rd round comp pick.
If they're going to get a 3rd rounder for him, then sign him and play him. I hope to God he doesn't lay down on us. If he lays down, ship his arse out of here.
Right. I mean,
I don't want him laying down.
If if you get 3-4 games in and he's doing the contracts in my head thing,
just go. Move.
Someone will pay for him, and then you go about your business then.
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is my thought process. The Super Bowl window is still very much wide open this year. I don't know what it's going to look like next year, but I know it's open this year. All hands on deck. I truly believe that he's going to be here week 1. So, if he's playing well, I don't want any part of trading him. The only reason I'm going to trade him is if, the trade deadline gets here and he hasn't shown up. And I can kind of get out of that because at that point he's not playing. Or if, like you said, he's just not playing like he is because the contract's in his head, then you can. But if I'm banking on trying to win a Super Bowl this year, keep him.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you win a ring, or even if you fall short again, but he walks away, that's still enough for me. Especially if he contributed. You're not guaranteed to win a Super Bowl. You're not guaranteed to get there, obviously. But if I think they can make a run and he's going to be part of it, I want him here because when he's on it, what he does for this team.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to bank that he's on it. I'm going to bank that he's here. If he doesn't show up, or if he does and he's not playing well, then that's a different story. But at the moment, I'm on the let's keep him and see what we can do, because you can always trade him later.
Yeah. Hey, how about a shout out to our favorite professional sports franchise in Cincinnati owner, Mike Brown, who actually said we're going to put the money together to keep our quarterback and to keep Mr. Chase and to keep Mr. Higgins. And then he even mentioned Boyd. I think that one might have been a little window dressing.
It may have been window dressing.
Just so he didn't make Boyd feel like he wasn't wanted.
But my God, Willie Lutz put this out today. How different is it, just the way that the day-to-day operations are with the Bengals between now and I think he said 3 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's a completely different organization. It's fantastic. I mean, you had Mike Brown answering contract questions. So, I mean, it's, here's the other thing. If you didn't think times were changing before, they're changing the name of the stadium. And I don't know if you read Mike Brown's comments on that. It doesn't necessarily sound like they're going to go with the tagline of at Paul Brown Stadium either, because he talked about.
I submitted our podcast for the naming of the stadium.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
We need some donations, folks.
Rally around the Natty Stadium.
Hey, we got Haas here. Haas has got a question, or he's got a comment.
Okay, so hold on, we'll throw it up there.
Right.
I like Dax Hill to get 1 year experience before stepping into the starter role, and Bates is still really good too for one. Yeah, like absolutely. So, I don't disagree with that at all.
Okay, so Santori is smart and Haas is smart, and I'm an idiot.
You're not an idiot, but you didn't know. I didn't know about the comp pick till this morning either.
Oh,
so I was kind of tossing it back and forth. I just get information thrown at me sometimes. But
can we move on?
Well, no, the stadium.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay, stadium.
If
who's gonna name this thing? Is it gonna be something with PNG? Is it gonna be something with Fifth Third? We can use a sponsor, by the way.
I'm still floored that Mike Brown is okaying taking Paul Brown's name off of it.
I know he said that. It's got to be an extension of the name.
You would think it's going to be something like Camden Yards or Oriole Park at Camden Yards.
You're right. It's got to be at Paul Brown Stadium.
You would think, but we won't know until it happens. It sounds like there's a chance that it might not be there. But I mean, he strictly said it like, we need to get revenue going.
And he said, my dad would want this, or something along those lines. It was all about the football team.
Yeah, he said it was, what's best for the team.
Yeah.
What's best for the team right now is Joe Burrow, and they saw all the extensions and went, oh shit. Mike Brown's gonna have to dip into his graders money on that one. Gee, better go every other Wednesday, buddy. Dial it back. No, but you said you wanted to move on. Something else?
No, let's move on.
Who are we moving on to?
We're moving on to the white helmets.
The white helmets. Yes, white tiger, white Bengal.
White Bengal.
White Bengal. I like it. I know you're not super sold on it, but I it's one thing that and Ace put this out there, Ace Boogie. Remember, this is the thing we were asking for when they released Color Rush.
Oh yeah, the helmet didn't work with Color Rush.
Right, because there were a couple people that were kind of like, I don't necessarily like that they're just bringing back the Color Rush uniform. It seems kind of, like we're just fast tracking a process instead of doing this the right way. And I'm like, well, Ace put it best. Y'all wanted this helmet because of those uniforms. So it seems somewhat apropos to bring them back and just finally do it right.
What's going to be interesting is they're allowed to use those 3 games. Mm-hmm. And I'm assuming they're still going to dip into the orange uniforms.
Yeah, I don't know how that's all working, because I know you're technically only allowed to do alternate stuff like 3 times a year. I'm sure they're going to be coming out with the schedule soon where they put it up there, the schedule and what top they're going to wear. Maybe they'll put the helmet on there too. I don't know.
I don't know.
But I have no idea what the allotment is. This could end up being like an Oregon Ducks situation where we just wear something different every single game.
Yeah, well, we don't want that, but
No, but I like them. Would I have preferred an all new, completely awesome white uniform? Sure. But at the same time, like Ace said, this is the uniform that made you want the helmet. I talked to Ashley about it because Ashley wanted the white helmet right away. We were still dating at the time, but when I showed her that back, I think in 2015, when it got released, or 14 or whatever it was, she was like, well, are they going to have a white helmet or an orange helmet? And we kind of went over the helmet rules, and you can only have one helmet at the time. She kind of almost sounded a little negative today, which is very, very, very rare if you know Ashley. She said, well, it's neat. I'm glad they did it. I've been asking for it for a while, but it just seems like they're kind of correcting a wrong. So good job for fixing the mistake. It's kind of what she said. And I was like, it's kind of mean, but yeah, I guess. But I was like, it's not really their mistake. They weren't allowed to do that.
Well, let's talk about the one cool aspect that we're going to try to pull off, that colleges pull off. But I challenge the city and the fans of Bengaldom. I don't think you got it in you. I'm in all white. This is what you're supposed to do.
I can take the shirt off and I'm pretty white, you know, but
Gotcha.
No, they're going to try and do I guess the Penn State style whiteout, which there's no way in hell they're going to get.
They're not going to pull that off.
Penn State. If half the people show up in white, I'll be thoroughly.
It'll be a little embarrassing on Thursday Night Football to only have like a third of the stadium in white. Not a real big commitment there.
No, but I
do you think they hand out white towels to everybody?
Probably.
I think that's something they should probably do.
Well, and that'll help.
Might be sponsored by Rally Round the Natty.
Right.
We might be the guys. We just need some money here, guys.
Look, I got 5 cents on a can of Monster to turn in that I can help out right now. No, but I think that would help mask it a little bit because, this is the Bengals. Everybody has orange. It's kind of the thing. You can't go to a Bengal game without seeing orange. Yeah, you'll see some black jerseys. Yeah, you'll see some white jerseys. Everybody's got that neon orange color somewhere. I think the people on Twitter know for sure. I think the people on Facebook probably have an idea. But your average fan who's not necessarily on Twitter or Facebook or still is just kind of rolling around getting a lot of their stuff from Lance and Mo, not ripping on them at all. That's a great market. But I don't know how much 700 and 1530 are going to pump the white out. I don't know if there's
it needs to be pumped. We know it's on 929.
I know it's 929. I'd love to see billboards around the city. Like, hey, like this is still 2 months away. Like they can they've got time to get the word out. Like high school students can do this in like 6 days.
Yep.
They've got 2 months. I would love for that place to be packed. Now, obviously, you're going to have Dolphins fans there.
I don't even want to hear about that.
You are, but they're going to be in green, and, they have some orange-looking shit, too. I still don't know where that – oh, my God. But they got some of that orange and green, so – but I
don't even know what they are.
They don't. But I think the white towel thing will that'll mask some of the color, too. If everybody's – if there's 50,000 white towels or 30,000, that's one thing. If you don't have a white jersey,
can we get 65,000? Are we allowed to give every fan a towel?
Well, here's the deal: if you can't freaking do that, go to
a t-shirt.
Go to Walmart and get a freaking bath towel. I think they're like $1.96 and shred it up and just, we don't have to. It's not like Pittsburgh where we all are given this orange or yellow towel at birth or whatever. But like at least have fun with it. I don't care. Go, bring some pillows, smack the shit out of people. I don't care. Like
somebody's got to get Haas some white pants.
Ross, I'm wearing white sweatpants right now that I got at the Walmart, and I love them. I'll
you gonna donate them?
And you don't have white pants. Well, go get some. Amazon's a thing, buddy. Do a white t-shirt and just tie the hole in the middle so you don't have an accident, but wear those upside down or something. There are ways. It's going to be September. It's probably not going to be super cold yet. It probably might be muggy and nasty out knowing our weather. But, white
you can't wear white pants after Labor Day anyway.
What? Oh my God. No, just stop. Haas is on it. Okay. I don't have white pants. I'm on it. I love it. Who day? There we go. Just run the game with the comments. Switching gears.
Switch them.
Your beloved baseball team.
9 out of the last 13.
They've done well since we walked away. Maybe
they are
problem.
White hot.
They're white hot. We'll check in on them here in just a second. But who's staying? Who's going?
Well, unfortunately, I think Castillo's going, and I really think they should step up and keep him.
Yeah, I mean,
they've got the money. They got all that money falling off the books here at the end of 23. They're going to go out and they're going to bring somebody in that doesn't fit the culture, kind of like Moose. They're going to spend a lot of money and bring somebody in that lays an egg when you got Castillo, who's a proven commodity here.
So next year, Castillo's arbitration year 3, I think, and there's technically year 4 of arbitration. So the most he's probably going to get in those years are like maybe 13, 15, whatever. I've never seen arbitration numbers get super out of whack, So he's super affordable. There's no money on the books for 2024. There's 2 options for Moose and Votto, and those are mutual options. And I can't imagine that if both of those guys are hitting 215 after next year, that they're keeping them. So you got 1 year of paying Castillo with some of these other guys, but also keep in mind that Mike Minor's contract falls off next year. You can afford to keep this guy.
Yeah, I think they need to.
I
think that would go a long way with as much ill will and just bad karma that the ownership has thrown the way of the fans all year. That would go a long way in stepping up and paying him.
I mean, you don't even have to step up and pay him for 2 years.
No, you don't.
I
just don't trust that they're going to get anything good in return. Every time we have somebody decent, we get a bag of baseballs is all we get. And then you never even get to use the balls. They're gone.
Yeah.
Who did we get for Winker and Suarez? Somebody asked me that today at work, and I have no idea.
Justin Dunn.
Okay.
Who's been hurt all year, but he's a decent pitcher, actually. And then you got a moderately high-end starting pitcher in single A who's one of their top prospects. I think it's like 6'5" left-handed pitcher. Forget his name. I think it starts with it's like Williamson, Brendan Williamson. So you got 2 decent pitchers, but one's hurt and one's years away.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I don't believe in trading pitching. I just don't. It's hard enough to come by.
Yeah.
I would always stock load pitching. I just would not. I wouldn't get rid of it. I can sign bats. I can trade for a bat. I don't. It's hard to acquire pitching. That is a spoils of riches, and I would love to rock up on the docks next year. I can deal with trading Malley.
I would trade him before Castillo.
He's just too inconsistent for me. And he's younger. Someone will bite. He's got a lot of control left, and he is darn good at times.
Something else we ought to revisit here real quick.
What's that?
We've just crossed the midway point of the season. If you want to look at it this way, they basically replaced Winker with Pham.
Yep.
And they replaced Suarez with Drury.
The Suarez and Drury is probably break even. Pham honestly is playing better than Winker.
Well, if you look at how they're playing, Drury's ahead of Suarez.
Mm-hmm.
And even though Suarez is hitting a lot of home runs, he's hitting 210, 215.
Well, so is Drury. Drury's, I think, still got him in home runs.
Yeah. And I think Winker's hitting like 210, believe it or not. And Winker's a darn good hitter.
He's not hitting well.
I think it's in his head. I think he wanted to be a Red. I really do. He just had so much fun here, and it's just not clicking for him right now out there.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there.
Kind of like Castellanos.
Yeah, Castellanos is doing nothing. I mean, he just got booed out of his own stadium.
Yeah.
So I mean,
I'd love to bring him back.
I'd bring all those guys.
He was
back.
the Bengals version of Burrow, I thought. I mean, he was so important to this team.
Well, he was the moxie. He was the grit.
Yep.
But I mean, as much as we hated those moves, they're not doing anything.
No, they're not. I mean, that's the only good thing. Good. That's like, I don't know. That's like rooting for something bad to happen to somebody else so you don't feel as bad.
Right. I hate having to be like, well, they sucked, so it worked out for us. But I mean, to be fair, though, that's the thing we always say with the Cardinals. It's like, man, they got rid of that guy and he fell off the planet. It's like, well,
yeah,
maybe they knew something. I don't know.
And no, Haas, I did not see that India reached out to whoever caught his grand slam ball.
Yeah. He posted the picture of the kid, I guess, from the TV broadcast holding the ball.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's my first grand slam ball. I'd love to make a trade with you. So it's kind of been circulating. Does anybody know this kid? I'm sure they'll find him. They'll reach out. Like that'll happen. That's not going to be too hard. Yeah. So no, it's neat. But we'll see. Do we want to do a live check-in on the Reds?
We can.
See if we can get some copyright infringement here. I'll share a screen. We're going to share a tab. Boom. How's that look?
Well, the score doesn't look great. The batting average doesn't look great. The count doesn't look great. He looks good in a uniform.
That's Papierski or Paperski. I don't even – who the hell is these guys, man? We've hit that time of year.
Well, the Reds' time of that year was the first game of the year.
Who are these guys? I think we actually made fun of Major League, the first podcast of the year.
Can somebody tell the Marlins they probably should put their name in either orange or white on their jersey? You can't even read that thing.
Yeah, you can't read it.
It's stealthy. That's a stealth-looking uniform.
I mean, that looks better there.
Yeah, on the back it looks better, but you can't read that.
No, I have no idea.
All right, enough of the live look-in.
It needs to be piped with a little bit more white so it pops better. I'm not a design guy, but I feel
I'm predicting a base hit the right field here. Shit! Oh, I almost got it.
Wait a minute. No! Man.
That was close.
His chain was just a little bit heavier.
Line. He needed about 4 more biscuits for breakfast to get that past the first baseman, though.
I mean, what was the first baseman doing?
I don't know. He was feeling that like a grenade. He was giving the old whoop, whoop, whoop. Yep, yep, whoop.
Jesus.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Let's see how you doing this next one. Who's hitting? So that had to be the
nobody. Nobody's hitting.
This is India.
Is that India?
I think so.
Can't see any hair coming out of the back.
That's the Red Sparrow.
Okay, come on, Sparrow. He needs a letter high fastball, and he's going to square it up somewhere.
He's got another hit today. That batting average is starting to really jump. I mean, he was at like 180 when he came back.
He really jumps on the high fastballs.
Ball? Okay. Wow.
No, he called that a strike.
Oh, he did? Okay. Yeah. Jesus. I was like, that's
what happens when the umpire turns to his right and then points.
Yeah. I didn't watch that. I was watching the ball.
We won't have an umpire back there in 2 years.
Thank God. Oh, they'll still be back there. There just won't be their call.
Whoa! Boy, that was a good pitch. You got nothing there.
Okay. All right, so that was your live.
No score after 3 from the ball yard.
Haas always being positive.
They're not losing. No,
they're not losing. No score. So,
what do we got? We have anything left?
You wanted to know what's taking so long with Deshaun Watson. I don't know.
I have no idea. What are they waiting for?
The judge is waiting. It's not the NFL.
Again, what's the judge got to do with this? What am I missing?
The judge is the person that makes the ruling. She decides how many games.
I thought that was Goodell.
No, so the judge has the initial ruling, and if Goodell agrees with it, he signs off. If Goodell's no.
That doesn't happen all the time, right?
This is the new process they do. They have a third-party person that does this.
Can I have that job? That's probably a really good paying job. That's probably the most unnecessary job of all time.
Yeah, because all you've got to do is lowball it, and Goodell's going to do what he wants anyway.
Yeah.
Just don't highball it.
No, they're probably going to pay him to highball so that Goodell can always look like the good guy and make it less.
We will give you $100,000 if you say 2 years, and I'll bring it back down to 1.
Yeah, I bet that judge is bringing in 7 figures.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I mean, it's pretty.
It's the NFL.
She's a pretty well-known judge anyway. But with that being said, no, it's her call. We're just waiting on it. Waiting on Sue. What a great name for a judge.
Yes, it is.
It's like the Steelers' new quarterback name. What a great name. Pickett. All right. Well, I think that just about wraps it up tonight.
I think it does. That was a good show. 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Efficient.
Got everything we need to talk about. Got our sponsorships. Got our charities pumped. I'll keep it going for the next month. See how much we can get. And I just want this whiteout to work.
Who dey, Haas?
Who dey, Haas? Who dey, fellas? You listen. The moment you send me that address, we will mail you a beer-soaked glizzy. I promise. You laugh, I'll do it.
We need to get Haas on the show.
Are you willing to jump on, Haas? We'll send you a link next week. If he's still here, the eyeball's here.
You can't hide from us, Haas.
We're waiting on you.
Come on.
Type.
Bring it.
Faster. I'm going to just keep.
Here comes. We got something. What? No, that was you. Stop doing that.
No, we got to get Haas on here. We gotta pick his brain a little bit, see where he's at. What if he's a lunatic, though? Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome.
Just jump the ratings.
He'd be like half the people that do podcasts.
He said he's good. What?
What do you mean you're good?
No.
What?
Jeez, we can't get a guest to save our lives. All right, we tried. We'll remember this when we're famous, Haas.
I guess we're gonna have to bring the cat and the dog on again next week.
Yeah. All right. Well, it's a good show.
Good show.
We'll see everybody next week. And as always, Hoo day!
Hoo day! Hoo day! Hoo day!
Thanks, guys. Yeah, thank you, Haas.
Thanks, Haas.
Stand us up on live podcast. I almost said live radio. I don't even know what this is. Stand us up on live TV.
It's something electric. I don't know.
It's electric.
See ya.
Goodbye.